For centuries, the architecture of confinement has relied on a very straightforward premise: absolute physical separation. Thick walls and heavy locks were designed to sever a person entirely from the outside world. When society operated on paper and landlines, a person leaving a facility stepped into a world that functioned largely the same way it did when they went in. Today, society operates on an entirely digital foundation. Spending years completely away from a keyboard causes everyday survival skills to atrophy. Navigating an online portal for a job application, setting up two-factor authentication for a bank account, or even using modern communication platforms become alien concepts. Releasing someone from a purely analog environment into a society that demands digital fluency practically guarantees they will stumble the moment they walk out the gates. This creates a difficult intellectual contradiction for agencies like the Massachusetts Department of Correction and the state's county sheriffs. They operate under a rigid security mandate. To protect the public and the facility staff, they must tightly restrict all illicit communication and maintain absolute institutional order. On the other hand, they face a rehabilitation mandate. To give people a fighting chance on the outside, institutions have to empower them with modern tech literacy. Those two forces are constantly pulling in opposite directions. Massachusetts attempts to engineer a technological infrastructure that resolves this contradiction. The goal is to bring these opposing requirements into a single, balanced intersection, without compromising either safety or education. Before any digital rehabilitation can happen, the facility has to secure the physical perimeter. Massachusetts relies on a layered approach of physical screening tools and contraband detection systems deployed right at facility entrances to halt the flow of drugs and unauthorized items. Behind those physical checkpoints operates an invisible digital perimeter. This relies on a sprawling administrative database known as an offender management system. This node-based map illustrates how the management network coordinates custody data. Information flows between independent county sheriff systems and 13 state institutions. This unified data flow calculates everything from day-to-day capacity to precise staffing ratios across the interconnected network. Without that massive baseline of administrative tracking and physical screening operating flawlessly in the background, handing network devices to an incarcerated population would simply be too dangerous to implement. Once that secure baseline is locked in, communication technology can be used to safely bridge the gap between the inside and the outside world. For families, video visitation allows people to maintain regular contact with their loved ones, removing heavy logistical burdens of taking time off work or traveling long distances. The state uses that same infrastructure to grant attorneys secure, remote video access to their clients, which drastically reduces scheduling barriers and accelerates the legal process. Through these tightly managed video networks, the thick concrete wall of a prison turns into a selectively permeable, highly secure digital gateway. The most direct application of this secure infrastructure is the recent massive expansion of tablet-based learning inside Massachusetts facilities. Look at this bar chart for the 2024 to 2025 school year. Of 1,300 educational program completions, 369 individuals enrolled in tech-focused workforce courses. Crucially, these aren't consumer devices. The hardware operates exclusively on closed networks, running stripped-down, restricted software. Using structured content, these devices teach basic digital familiarity. Users learn to navigate modern interfaces and interact with online learning systems in a controlled setting. They function as walled gardens. They provide a safe sandbox for building modern workforce literacy, insulated from the open internet. None of this hardware operates as a standalone solution to the complex challenges of corrections. These technological tools only succeed because they are paired with rigorous staff training, active interagency cooperation, and continuous human oversight. Recent efforts by the state regarding suicide prevention and safety reinforce that clinical coordination and human policy remain the central focus of any real institutional reform. By introducing controlled, secure technology into the environment, the operational philosophy shifts from having individuals passively wait out a sentence to actively preparing them for tomorrow. Treating technology as both a protective shield and a classroom, ensures that when citizens return to their communities, they actually have the required digital fluency to confidently step off the bus, navigate their new environment, and succeed.